Hello and thank you for joining me on my colouring quest. Today is the video for your choice, which is this Colourful Time by Gugeli. I don't know if that is how you pronounce it or what their full name is, or yeah, I should have really translated the whole thing because it does say Colourful Time here in English. But when I translated this on the side, I can't remember exactly what it said, but I swear it said something like flowers of time or flowers through time. But obviously not every illustration has a flower on, so I'm not sure why it translated it like that. But I'm just going to be calling it Colourful Time right there. And yeah, and the page that we chose, oh no, it wasn't that one. I put paper in the wrong one. I thought I put it in all three, but apparently not. But yeah, there are some really, oh, there we go. Number 23, I called it the Man and the Moon. I don't know if that is a moon. I think it is, but I thought it was really pretty. But again, I did say in the choice of illustrations that I'm just starting off with simpler illustrations in this book, because this is the second book in the I think it's their second book. I have the first book as well, and even with that book it took me a minute to finally colour in it, and I have only done a few pages and they are on the simpler side as well, so I thought start out simple, I can build myself up, have some confidence, you know. And yeah, I love this book, and it came with, same as the first one, I won't be able to show it all, but it comes with a poster of the coloured illustrations. So where is number 23? Number 20, sorry about this. Number 23 is here. So it does look like a moon, but that is a really simple colour palette, which mine probably won't be that simple. I don't think I want him wearing white. But yeah, probably black hair. I don't know. We will see. But yes, that is helpful to see the details in each thing. And it also comes, again, I'm not going to be able to show it you all, because it is, again, huge. It is also a poster, but this time it is of a creature, and like, it is stunning, and it's got this sort of glittery sheen over the whole thing. Right, I'm just going to put that away before I end up scrumpling it up or something. But yeah, this book was absolutely beautiful. And do you want to know what's even crazier about it? Is if you don't have this book, then you're not going to know, because I had no idea until I got it. You open it up, and then this first page, literally, I thought my book was broken. You fold it out, and you fold it out again, and oh my gosh, look at the detailing in that. Like, I can't even show it you all. Like, seriously. It is huge. If anybody has coloured this, you have a strong, very patient hand, because that is a lot of buildings and a lot of tiny detail. And although I wish I could colour that, that is very far in the future for me. But it's a great idea having fold out. But yeah, whew, that is, yeah, a long way away. And And yeah, I love the paper in the first one, which is why I wanted the second one, but I didn't even know the second one was out. Like, I don't know if it says anywhere what year this came out. It probably does somewhere and I can't read it. Maybe this, 2022? Yeah, and yeah, this here is the first one. And then there's this, but I think that, I'm not sure if that's an art book or if it's a colouring book. I'm not sure on that one, because I haven't ever seen anybody colouring that. And normally, like, you see at least one person, right? Right, so I'm going to take this bit off because I never colour with that on. Sorry for all my faffing about, but I wanted to sort of show the book before colouring in it. So if I get to page 23 again, I need to put that paper behind. I'm just going to flatten out my book and set up sort of thing. Right, so I have flattened it out and I have added my protective sheets of paper behind. And I have also added some washi tape to the centre so I don't get paint on this side, because I do plan to do a watercolour base. And for that, I have something new. Oh, sorry for the shaking. I have something new to me. And I specifically, like, when I got this book, I thought, I want some, like, watercolours, like some decent watercolour colours, and I went for the Gansai Tambi watercolours. And as you can see, this palette is huge. Did I know this when I ordered it? Not at all. I honestly thought it would be half this size. Like, it is literally the same height as the book and wider. And yeah, so lots of colours there, and it doesn't look like a lot, like in terms of shade, but on the inner side of the lid you get a palette where you can, like, try out your colours, basically swatch them out. And as you can see, we have some shimmery ones. This one is really pretty. It's hard to see what the colours are, like, specifically on this camera, but yeah, I even did the white, which I was like, do I need to do the white? But it's there. So yeah, I really like the variety of colour. You have a lot of vibrant but also a lot of muted, which is nice. You also get this sheet that you can do them on, which, as you can see, some of the colours do look slightly brighter on this, which it's always good to know that, because it is different paper. I think it might be the same, but yeah, they do look more vibrant on this, ever so slightly. So yeah, I'm just going to keep this by me because this lid again is huge. But yeah, look at all those colours. They are going to last ages. I got them off of Amazon. When I got them, they were currently in the sale, so I'm not sure of what the price is right now. I haven't had them long, but sales come and go, don't they? So I'm not sure what price they are. But yeah, I am going to be using this palette. I probably should get a mixing palette as well. I do have this, but I want to keep this clean. I really randomly, right here, have a Pringles lid. Will that do? To mix a few colours on? Like, as I'm going, I can just wipe it off. I don't know why I have a Pringles lid. Don't ask. I haven't had Pringles in like over a week. So yeah, let me get set up. Right, so I haven't even decided on a colour palette yet, if I'm honest with you, but I really love this turquoise green deep. So I'm thinking a turquoisey blue background. I don't know how much of a background I do. I think I want paint over the whole thing, but like I want light and dark. But again, I'm not great with watercolour, so we will have to see. But first, I think I'm going to wet the page a bit. I think that would probably be a good idea. I might start, no, I should start at the top. If I start at the bottom, I will lean in it. So I think this paper can handle a certain amount of water, but I'm not going to like add a swimming pool. I'm not bothered if I go over the flowers and the branches, because I think I'm got an idea of what I want for the flowers. And yeah, the hair's going to be dark, so I'm not worried about that either. I'm just going to enjoy my watercolour. Add some up here. I always wonder, how do people like choose which page I want to do? What page like they want me to do? Like, is there something specific you expect to see from, like, if I colour a certain page or certain book? Oh, I tell you what, I checked on oh, sorry. Why did I say sorry? I checked part of the way through when it was voting for which page, and I was like, oh no, I hope at least one more person votes, because 2 of the pages had exactly the same amount of votes, and like I would have had to choose which page, wouldn't I? But it's like, how do I choose? Because I literally asked you lot to choose. So yeah, luckily we had a few more votes come in, so I was able to not have to decide. I'm trying to get the paint pan out. So the pans are like this. They do have on the back the colour and the number in both English, Japanese, and yeah, I'm not sure if that's also Chinese. I don't know. It might just be saying something else in Japanese. I cannot read Japanese. I don't even know where to start to be able to read it. But yeah, so it's probably just Japanese and English. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am. But yeah, down here, made in Japan, which is nice. And they're quite deep, even though they're only like halfway full, the pan is deep. And when I was swatching them out, I only had to wet like the tiniest corner in the, well, tiniest corner in the corner to get it activated and everything. Why did I just add more water? What am I doing? But yeah, I need to wet this just a little bit to get the paint activated. Look at that colour, you can already see it, can't you? I also want to activate a lighter blue already, I think. So what should I go with? That other turquoise blue. I think I'm just going to go with blues. I feel like I should add a bit of something else though, but I think that would be fine. I tell you what I might do, like after like the background's fully dried and that, I might get some KJ Design by Karen sparkly watercolour and add it in certain places if I feel like I want to. Like, I don't know if I'm going to want to. Right, so those two are activated, and I'm just going to work to start with on this top area, starting with the dark colour it is. Oh, ooh, that is pretty. That is so pretty. I want to make sure I get it. I don't want to pull it there though. That's a problem when it's a book. I don't want it to pull in the spine. What I'll have to do is let the first layer sort of dry and then go in wet on dry to make it a bit darker in places, because I don't want it all this light, you know. I can't have it pooling. I didn't think of that, did I? Oh, what am I doing? I did not think of that. See, you can learn from my mistakes. Don't do that. If you've got a book that can't lie completely flat, then it's going to run into your spine if you're doing wet on wet. Right, a bit more paint. Look at that colour though when it's dark. That's what I want certain bits to look like. So pretty. But for now I shall make sure it blends in a bit. Try adding a bit of that other one. This is a lighter one. Oh, that is very much more blue, isn't it? Ooh, that's pretty as well. Sorry, I do like blues, especially in watercolours. Don't know why, I just do. So they can merge. Like I said, I'm not bothered about getting it on the flowers because I think I'm going to get a Posca pen and sort of, they're tiny, so I was planning on sort of dotting in some Posca pen detailing to make them flowers again. And to fade that out a bit, lift some of that colour up, I think. Let me dry off my brush. Better to do it with a sponge when lifting up, but you know, the sponge isn't right next to me, and I'm going to go in with a bit of the darker one again. I do. This colour, seriously. I can see this probably being the first one I run out of eventually. Yeah. Just going to get the edges a bit up here and there. might add a bit of metallic as well to this page. I'm not sure. If I had the sparkle, I might not add the metallic, but I can't be sure about that. And I sort of have a little idea of what I want, but I don't completely know. I tend to just make it up as I go along, else I end up being disappointed when I can't get a certain look. Ooh, that was a lot of that, I didn't need that much. I am liking how that's turning out. So now I need to add water to my bottom half. Just to keep the, like, I know it's a bad idea, but I need the look to be the same. I don't know what colour his clothes are going to be, so I'm slightly trying not to get it on him, because the watercolour will only travel where the water is for the most part, unless I literally bring it into it myself, which I probably will, because I'm using a stupidly big brush around these detailed areas. A bit in there. And on this side. I probably should have tested to make sure these watercolours don't go through this paper. Too late for that now. I'm not going to look because that will just put me off. I doubt they will, because it's not like I've done loads and this paper is thick. Right, so that is the water down. So now I'm going to go back in with my paint. So I had this colour up here. Every time I put that on the paper, my brain just goes, wow. Again, it's going to try and go in go around the clothing. I'm just trying to be careful right now. I could switch to my other brush. I do have another brush out, but that would be the smart thing to do, wouldn't it? Like, I'm not even barely dipping these this paintbrush into the paint, and it's given me so much pigment. Like, if you're on the fence about trying these watercolours, I mean, I could have started with a smaller set, but because the set with how many are there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6. 6 times 8, 48 colours. That's right, right? Doing math up at the top of my head. Yeah. Yeah, I could have gone with a smaller set, but the sale pulled me in. Because the colours that I wanted, some of them weren't in the smaller set. And I was like, well, I'm getting the biggest set anyway then. Oops, see, on the clothes. But it's watercolour, so in a minute I will grab that if I can. and make it disappear. Well, go very faint. That'll be easy to colour over. A bit of the dark over here, sort of merge it into what I did up there. Yeah, the main thing not to get paint on is the skin, because I find I'm not good at fixing it if it's on the skin. He only has a little hand there. Like the page I done it on before, it was a bit more of a bigger mistake. Oh, I want a lot of that down there. I don't know, I might like this without going too dark. I may add a slight bit more darkness when this bit's dry. I just have to blend the two sort of colours into each other now, so it doesn't look too odd. That other one over that side. Now I need to let that dry completely before I can do anything else. Have I missed any little gaps? That should have background watercolour. No, I think I'm good. Because I don't want to paint the moon until I finish the rest of the background, because it's got to be completely dry else I'll just mix way too easily. And I don't know what colour I'm doing the moon yet. I don't know. I don't think I want it realistic, but I could be wrong. So I'm going to let that dry now. So yeah, hopefully I come back and do that in a minute and not like a couple of days, but who knows with me. I'll be back. Hello, I am back. Yeah, well, I'm actually at my brother's house now, so I'm looking after his cats, and that is why this video is taking so long to put up, because I did this part that you had already seen, and then yeah, I didn't get a chance to do any more before I came here. So yeah, I am just going to get on with it. I'm going to finish this background off, so I just want to add a bit more of these two colours that I've been using to make them stand out in certain parts more. So I shall get ready and be back in a mo. So I have got a smaller brush now. I think I was using this brush before. So yeah, got my smaller brush, and I'm just going to take this, what was it, turquoise green deep. I think the other one's got cobalt in the name. So I'm just going to deepen up some areas. I'm not going in all of it. Just sort of doing what I want. Because on the initial sort of wash you lose a lot of pigment, and in some places that is fine, but then in some places I want to keep the colour quite bold, like that. And then I'm just going to take a bit of, what was the other colour called? Turquoise blue. So where did I get the cobalt from? So it's like, in the places that are already sort of a bit darker anyway, I'm just going to add a bit. Like I said, I'm going to do these flowers with Posca pen, so it doesn't matter if I really go over them. I try not to go over them completely, but it's not a problem if I do. A bit more of the darker one going down here. I don't really have a goal for what this to look like, but I'm like just going with it. Sorry, I just knocked the table. So actually that might need a bit more water on it now. So down here, this bit, I want quite a bit of the dark. I'll bring it into the other corner of it. You sort of see what I'm like going for. Hopefully you can. I want to join a bit of that colour in with that. So now up here I need some of this. Spread that out with water a bit. I want that to sort of fade in to that bit a bit. A bit. Don't want it to be too different. I say that, but I kind of do, don't I? I think up here needs a little bit sort of tailing off. Alright, I'm going to go in with the lighter colour again, just add a little bit sort of here. I don't know if there's an easier way to do what I'm doing, but I'm I'm fine with doing it this way. And then just this corner down here. I kind of want a bit more of this in here though. Just a little bit. Right, so the bottom corner, a bit in. And then I'm going to spread that out a bit down there. And then add a bit of the lighter bit. You can see these blues sort of pop out now, whereas before you could barely tell the colour. Bit more water. Only downside is I am going to have to let this dry. Good news is though, this house is quite warm even without heating on, so it shouldn't take long. Which is why my paintbrush I think keeps drying out quite easily as well. How is that looking on the camera? Ooh, I like it. I kind of feel like this corner needs more. So I'm going to get that dark, sort of just add a bit more. I don't know, it looked strange to me. For some strange reason, it looked strange. No. Makes no sense. But it could be because I've done all the others sort of really big. I loved this one when I started it, but then the rest of them sort of took over. Just make it darker. The bigger patch of dark, I think. Oh, I just dripped water on it then. Oops. Just spread that a bit. So I'm going to end up with a unwanted blob. Probably shouldn't have added this extra bit. I'm going to add a bit more of the light though down here so it joins up with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I am going to just let that dry slightly, just like for a few minutes. So I'll pause while that's happening. Slight problem. Cat on page. Don't know if paint has dried yet. It has dried, but you know, I mainly... Come on, down. Come on then. Oh, good boy. He is just attention seeking. Quickly had to move my paint out of the way because that would have been a disaster, wouldn't it? But yeah, now I think I have cat fur probably, so I'm just going to just sort of clean my page off. As you can see, paint not disturbed, luckily. Alright, so I have some KJ Designs by Karen watercolours, and I'm thinking of adding a little bit of this, I can't decide between the lake blue and the bluebird. So these two, they're both a really nice blue. I was thinking about the other two blues I have, but decided I think I might add a bit of the bluebird to where I've done the darker colour and a bit of the lake blue where I've done the lighter colour. So just like a slight line along the edge of some of it. So I'm just going to see what that looks like. Hopefully this is a good idea because it's probably something I cannot undo. My paint pan doesn't stick to its magnet anymore. I don't know why. I need to get a new magnet, I think. So let me just put some water on those to activate the watercolour. Doesn't take much with these paints though, does it? Right, so I'll start with some of the lake blue, which is the lighter one, and hope for the best. I don't know how much of the sparkle you will see. But I thought this page needs a bit of sparkle, right? And what better way to do it if I'm already using watercolour, you know? Goes quite nicely with that colour actually. So I'll add a bit down here. Up here. Like I said, just on the sort of edge parts that I've done. Are you seeing any sparkle? Not a whole bunch, but at the end when I finish the page I will sort of move it around in the light so you can be able to see. Oh, that is so pretty. I don't think I've got any more light bits left, so I'll move on to the darker one, which I'm using Bluebird. Hopefully this colour will look okay. I do love these paints though, and they're going to last ages because when you first buy a watercolour you think, oh gosh, that it's quite a small pan, and then you realise that with a good watercolour you don't need much paint to get a lot of pigment. So yeah, these are going to last ages. Some colours will last longer than others, for the obvious reason of you always end up with a favourite colour, don't you? So much fun using watercolours. I don't know, it's just easy. Well, it's not easy, but it fills a large space fast, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does, because I don't know how else to explain. And filling a space like this large, this fast, can sometimes make the page more manageable. I'll just sort of add a bit of that in here because, yeah, I will. How's that looking? Oh, that looks quite cool. Right, so that's all I'm going to add of that. At the end, when I finish the rest of the illustration, I think I'm going to put some like white sort of splatters, although I haven't actually bought any white paint with me. I only have my white Posca pen, so I might have to sort of drain a bit of that out and then sort of dip my paintbrush in it, because I don't want uniform dots. I kind of actually want the, you know, when you get the little spray type situation. So I'm going to just let that dry a minute because I want to move on to the moon, and I think I'm going to have to do that with watercolour as well. So I shall be back. Okay, I don't know what I was talking about when I said I didn't have any white paint with me. I've got a white in this set, like right here. Like my mind is no help for me whatsoever. So I have picked out for my moon, I'm going to do it a blue-grey. So literally I have blue-grey deep here. I have the turquoise blue that I have used in the background, and I have this grey. And we do have visitors by my feet, so let's hope there's no jumping on the table again. So I am just going to get into it, and I am going to use my bigger paintbrush. So if you hear any cat noises or anything, yeah, that's cats. Pretty self-explanatory. So I'm going to start off by doing, I think I'll do it like wet the page, I think. Just over here. I know I've got some blue on there. Right, need to wet all of it. Then it might help me to get a sort of, and yes, I'm going over the tree. Cats are too curious. They are getting very curious out here. Right, and I haven't wet these paints yet, so let me do that. Get a bit of this grey, and I'm just going to, oh, that's pretty. I love watching how watercolours spread. Glad I did the wet on the moon because it's helping it actually look sort of moony. My words. I know, so unnecessary, isn't it? For me to say moony. Like a mad-eye moony. And then I shall take my smaller paintbrush, I think, and add some of the other colours in. So this, oi, 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 oi. Kitty, you can't come up. Just a moment. Okay, he has left the building, and I just realised this is glaring on the wet. But I kind of need my light, so I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. Oh, Kitty has re-entered the building. Maybe like that for now. The colours may look a bit dark while I do this, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing to the moon. I don't know how people do it. Painting with cats around. Not a good idea. So I am just going to add a bit of this in some areas. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, no. The difficulty level is very high right now. It may look a bit strange to start with, because only that part has that colour on it. But once it all has the colour on, I think it will look fine. Well, all the parts, should I say. Sort of spread it out. And then this will take a while to dry this, because I've done the wet on wet, haven't I? This cat really cannot decide what it wants to do. But it's so cute. So it's like, come here, but not here on the paint. So pretty. I think I just got that on him then. Oh well, I'm okay with that. I love the effect that I'm getting with this. And then I'm going to do a bit in there and a bit over here. But look how pretty it is. So pretty. I love how it spreads. I know I just said that a minute ago, but I really do. Gosh, now I've got the other cat here. I'm really loving this, you know. I swear, if I'm doing anything else, they just leave me alone. And quite honestly, they're like asleep or something. As soon as I want to colour, they are interested, apparently. Very, very interested. So yeah, after I've done with this page, I don't think I'll be doing any more watercolour pages while I'm here. Because obviously it's easier. They can be about round pencils, you know, as long as I'm not letting them chew on them and stuff. But like paint, I'm a bit more wary, because obviously there's a water pot, there's paint. I don't want them licking it or sniff. Well, sniffing would be fine, but if they sniff, they'll probably lick. So I'm just a bit cautious, because after all, they're not my cats. And even if they were my cats, I would still be very cautious. If anybody has cats that is watching this, what do you do in this situation? Or do your cats not bother you when you have paint out? So I'm going to let this dry. I didn't actually use any of this blue, did I? I best put a little bit in, because I want to make it, maybe when it's dry, I don't know. Maybe I use it on the edge so it sort of blends a bit. I don't have to use that. That outer circle does look a bit raggedy though, doesn't it? So maybe I will add a bit in. Add a bit. Because it is watercolour, so it will like reactivate anyway. I didn't really do anything up here, did I? Because that's mostly tree. That's fine. It's fine. I don't want it to look exactly like the background, you know? But I do want it to be sort of influenced by it. When it's dry though, I think I'll add some sort of detailing with some pencils. That might help. Curious cat number 2. Yes, there are 2 cats. Just in case you're thinking how many cats are here. I don't know if I said. But curious cat number 2 has arrived in the proximity. Luckily, I think this is all the watercolour I need to do. I like that moon. Like I said, I am adding more detail, but I like how it spread when I added the paint. It worked in my favour for something that I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm going to pause that again while it's drying. We are on to a new day. And yeah, it is fully dried obviously, and I am really enjoying how this looks. So next I will be going on to pencil work, and I think I'm going to first complete him, the rest of the page, and then see how the moon looks, because I quite like it like that, and I don't want to do too much to it without knowing what the rest of the page is going to look like. It might look odd with only this amount of detail after I finished him, which means I would go in and add a little bit more. But then if I colour him and I think, oh, that moon actually goes well, then I will leave it as is. I can imagine I might add a tiny bit of detail at the least, just like to neaten up the edges, if anything. So yeah, I'm going to get my pencils. I've zoomed in a bit because I'm going to start off with the skin, and obviously he has his face showing and his 2 hands here. So yeah, his feet have got shoes on. At first I was like, are they shoes? And yes, they are. So I'm going to be using Castle Art Gold pencils, but my black and white are Faber-Castell Polychromos. And I am going to start off by adding shadows in with Venetian Blue Deep, but only using it lightly. So this is slightly grayscaled anyway. So I'm just going to add this in where I think I would want it. Like some are already there, like this neck bit here. Very difficult to do such a small area without having my face like up on the page. No, I'm not that bad, but you know what I mean. Plus, for little areas you use the very point, so you're supposed to be like this sort of thing, but then you wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm trying to make it so you can see. So that's all I'm adding of this colour into the face. Oh, don't forget the ear. The ear, people. I always forget. Luckily there's only one showing. So now I'm going to move on to this hand. And I'm using a blue as my shadow because of how much blue is in the background. Normally, most of the time I would use a purple undertone. But sometimes what colour I have done sort of lighting or something affects how I decide to do like the undertones for the skin and obviously the highlights of the skin as well. Right, so that's all that's needed of that colour. Next I am going to add in a little bit of this Chinese orange. Just, he is a man, so I don't want to make it look like makeup, but even if you're a man, you still have different tones in your skin, don't you? So yeah, gotta add just a dash here and there of a warmer tone. That's enough for that, because it will blend. This paper is like extremely textured, so I don't want to press hard and get rid of that sort of what's helping me to colour. So next I have permanent brown, which is, I'm now going to lightly go over the parts of the shadows that I want like deeper. This bit on the eye. You may lose the eye until I actually colour the eye. To the hand. Don't need much darkness on them though. This was for the deepest dark. Right, and then I have as my lighter shade almond. So I'm just going to go over it, blending those colours out. I'm still not pressing super hard because I want to make sure I can sort of get these colours blending out before I fill all the tooth of the paper. Oh, and do you want to know the funny thing? Last night, as soon as I finished with the watercolour and I was just about to put it away, the cats disappeared. Like, just left the room, left me alone for like half an hour. Like, they weren't interested in me anymore because I wasn't using watercolour. So yeah, typical. I think that's how it always is though with animals, isn't it? They're interested when you're doing something. Even kids though, it's the same. I've got the ear, put a bit of that warm tone on the tip of the ear, I think. That might have been too much, but I can move it down a little. Right, now on the face I'm going to press a little bit harder on those shadowed areas because I've taken out the colour, spread it sort of how much I want, so now I can focus on getting it looking how I want. Are you getting a glare or is it okay? You can't even really see the colour that I've put down, but in person I can. Don't know. That will have to do though. I am only doing sort of pale skin, but there's more colour that I'm seeing than what you were seeing. I guess because it's a small face as well, that doesn't help. I didn't put any of the brown in the ear either, did I? Just on that part. So now I move on to the neck and blend these darker tones how they need to go. Now the hands. Yeah, this almond is only a very pale, it's like a muted peach, isn't it, almond? On the other hand, I knew this skin wouldn't take too long because it's only small amounts, which when you have the whole person to colour, like the whole body, it normally is only small amounts of everything, isn't it? Because you've got to fit the whole person on the page. Alright, now I'm going to take my black and do the eyes. I don't know if you'll be able to see this because I've got to be careful with these. Hopefully I'm holding it at an angle that works, but if not I do apologise. I'm just going to give them black eyes and then I will dot some Posca in there. Do some nostril, get that dot in the ear. Right, I am going to add the white into the eyes right now because they look funny. Just dot time I may change those dots, but for now that's good enough. Right, so I think next step, what easiest would be to do the hair, because I am just going to give him black hair, and I'm just going to follow the grayscale that's already here. Here he's got some sort of detailing in his hair, which I'm probably going to completely obliterate. Probably thinking, oh, it'll be easier to colour everything and then add the black lines of hair. Yes, it would. Am I going to do that? Obviously not. Some of these, it's difficult to tell if it's hair or part of the clothing. So I might just do what I want. Doesn't have to be exact, does it? It's hair after all, it goes where it wants. I can always add my own in anyway, which I sometimes like to do, especially when it's black hair. I like to randomly add strands, but for now I'll keep it sort of to go over some of the paint parts here, which actually makes the paint look more in the background, which is what you need. He has extremely long hair. There is a piece of fabric there, so I'm not going to go fully over that. Are you still seeing all of this? Or yes, good. I can't remember what part I had zoomed in on. Do I hate having to go up to the edge of the paper? But at least it's only for a few lines. It's okay when it's like paint and that, but when you got pencils, and it's difficult. I think that's on that side, hopefully. I'm just going to sharpen my black a moment. Right, now I'm going to go back to the top of the head. because I got sidetracked. It went down the side before I even finished the top. Could you imagine having hair this long? Oof. The longest I've had it is right to the bottom of my back, and most of the time I always wore it up because it was too long, and in summer definitely too hot. And I remember when I got that cut and it was a literal weight had been lifted, because you don't realise sometimes how heavy your hair is. But yeah, having it this long, my gosh. It's like at least Rapunzel's hair was magical. It's funny because the cats are in here again, but today I don't have watercolour, so they're just being good. But when I had the paint, it's like they needed to be near it. He has hair so many places, but like I said, I can't tell if some of this is hair or part of his clothing, so most of it I'm just doing his hair. If it was supposed to be clothing, then too late. Like I said anyway, I like adding hair strands in when it's black hair. Right, and then I think this over here is the last of the hair. I hope. So I'm just going to go over here. What did you think? Did I get it all? Do you want to kind of join those up a bit? I can always add more later, can't I? That bit there looks like it's sort of curling around. Kind of want to add a bit more there. Right, anyway, I think that might be his hair done. Like, I just did it the simplest of black hair that I could possibly do, because it was also already so grayscaled. I didn't want to try and do a different colour. I don't know, this seems like it's glary. Hopefully you're seeing it okay. You need to move the light. I don't know, because if I move it certain ways it goes too dark. I think it's also because my page is a little slightly crinkled. Let me just bring it up so you can see the colour properly. Like, there's not much there, but it is fully coloured. Right, so I'm going to move on to the next part, and I think I'm going to colour everything in that I want gold. Yeah, but they are very small objects on here that I want gold, like his hairpin, and there is, I think, a couple of things in this jewellery box. So I'm just going to prepare for that, so be back. So I just zoomed in a bit more because obviously this is tiny now, very hard to see. So this hairpin here, I am just going to go in with cadmium yellow. I didn't just nudge that there, so yep, that's still okay. Cadmium yellow, and yeah, just going to go in quite heavy with that, and it just goes like all the way through his hair. I don't know what that is, so I'm just going to do that colour as well. And then all I'm going to do is get a bit of the black and just make sure it doesn't just look like a plop of yellow, basically. And that is all I'm doing for that. And then I now move the page up to here. This is actually probably a good place to have it, because I want to do like these sort of, I don't know if they're bangle type situations or the cuffs of his clothes, but I kind of want to do them like this gold colour anyway. And then this, I'm thinking it's like an incense burner. I think I'm going to do that gold. And then there's a couple of little bits. So I'm just basically going to go in and do the same as I did for that. Because they're only small, it's difficult to get any like more detailing in it. So I'm going to start with these bangles, light layer, then darker where I'd want the shadows, and then black on those shadowy shadow bits. Just a moment. We have a curious cat that has found a wire, and I need to just make sure it doesn't attack it, because else my whole light will be gone. Hello? Is that your catty? Oh, do. Nope. Come up here. I'm sorry about that. He's wanting all the attention. I'm just going to pause and give attention for a moment. Attention has been given. I think he's about to get into that zoomies. So if you hear like zooming around, like, he is quite loud when he starts zooming, like clunky. So yeah, if you hear any thuds or anything, that's just him like running up and down stairs. But he might not. I did just throw the toys to him and stuff, so he might have saying that, and then I can hear him. It might not pick up on here though, so yeah, just a warning though. Didn't go over any of these lines, did I? It's got patterns on these. Kind of forgot where I was. Right, and then add a bit more of that in. Ooh, small details get done fast, but are also quite energy consuming. Right, so I'm going to do these corners on the box in this. I don't know, I just always feel like when you see one of these sort of jewellery boxes, that these parts will always be gold. I can't help it, I just have to. And the rest would be a wooden box. But that is like a mirror in there, isn't it? So I may do a gold border for the mirror. Just like that. I'm actually going to take that permanent brown that I used earlier for the box. I may as well do that while I'm here. Don't you think? Save some time picking out a brown later. I just use the brown that I've already used. I will need a lighter colour as well, but for now this is good enough. This is a bit like a purpley brown in my opinion. Going around the trinkets and stuff isn't always easy. Like I said, I'd normally be holding the pencil a bit differently. But what use would that be if I'm videoing it, right? I have no idea what half the stuff is in here. They've got like little bottles of stuff. Then something that's square there. That looks like another hairpin. This is one of those beaded bracelets with the tassel-y bit on, and then yeah. So I think that's enough of that colour. I have just noticed as well though that there is like a symbol there. That would be like the lock box, the lock to the box sort of thing. I'm just going to take that almond and sort of blend that wood. Because I'm fine with it being that colour. And then we'll just have to add a little bit of black into the darkest parts. Just takes the hassle out of it when you use colours that you've already used. Now the black. I will be using the black on the gold parts as well, so just saying. Still don't know what colour to do his clothes, which is kind of why I started with the rest of it, because I don't want to do them blue because there's already so much blue on here. I don't want to leave them white because that would be a bit boring. I don't want to do them white as well because that's what colour the actual artist has done. If you remember that, the sheet that I showed you with it on, I don't have that with me because I left it at home because I was like, I don't need to take that with me. I'm literally can't take everything, you know. Oh, trust me, I still bring a lot of stuff because obviously I bought a few books with me, 2 sets of pencils, which are these pencils and the Faber-Castell Polychromos, so Castle Art Gold and Faber-Castell Polychromos. They're kind of my 2 go-to sets anyway, so I thought I didn't want to just bring one because I am here for 3 weeks, although it's like 2.5 more weeks now. So yeah, I wanted options, but I don't need to bring a sheet that's got images on for this, do I? Like I literally had my suitcase for clothes and stuff and then a whole sort of weekend bag full of colouring supplies. But obviously I'm still working, so I had to bring my work stuff, and yeah, it gets a lot. I also bring with me like food that I have in the fridge that obviously needs to be eaten and stuff. Right, I'm just going to take the Venetian blue, just add a bit of it into the mirror, or what I'm calling a mirror, because I don't know if it's a mirror or not, and then just my white. Where's that Posca pen go? I put it away. I did. I'll put it away. Just put a few sort of make it look like that. Actually, I might add a few dots onto that. Yeah, zoomies are still ongoing. Right, so now I'm going to move on to what's inside the box. I'm happy with that box. It's small details again, isn't it? So I want to do the beads red. I'm just going to use this spice red should I say. And I do realise that I haven't done all the gold bits yet, but I kind of wanted to do these beads. I'm sorry if you can't see this, but I literally am just doing them red. And then I'm going to add a dot of white and a dot of black. So black first, just sort of on the bit where they sort of overlap. And then I'm just going to get my Posca pen and very carefully try and do a tiny dot on each bead. I didn't do any black on that lock bit. Right, back to my gold colour. Just a moment actually. That bit looks a bit odd. So my cadmium yellow. And now I could have done all his accessories silver, but I thought it would blend in too much. Like you wouldn't be able to see it. So let me just quickly do that on. I don't know what this cubey thing is in here. I might just do it black. Black with white. Because I don't know what it is. Right, next is, there's some little bottles in there. I'm just going to again take my black and sort of, I don't know what colour to do them. They're not the focal point of this picture anyway, so I'm just going to do them with the black and then blend the black out. And then get my white Posca, add some little highlight. That will do. Although I do want to take that Chinese orange. This one's got a cork in the top, so I'm just going to add a bit of that. Like so. Right, this now has a bead on there. A bead. So what colour do I want the bead to be? I'm not sure, so I'm going to do the gold incense burner first. So again, light layer of cadmium yellow. It's like a cone sort of thing on the top. At least I think it's an incense burner. It's got smoke coming out of it. I think. Yeah, that is smoke coming out of it there. So I can have that coming off into the background. I will probably colour the rest of the illustration and then get that white acrylic paint out. White watercolour paint. I keep thinking of acrylic paint. I don't know if I've seen anybody colour this page before. I think I say it in all my videos, but I try not to look at other people's until I've finished mine, unless I am absolutely struggling to know what something is. But even then I try to just colour it as anything. So I'm just going to go over all of those lines that create the pattern. Again, you may not be able to see this. Am I even in frame? Good, I am. Is because I don't normally zoom in so much. Just have to concentrate a moment. And that needs to sharpen. Wow, that is a bit too sharp. Look at that. Prepare for it to break. I'm going to try and keep it like that though, because I do have a lot of little lines. I think that is that done. I didn't snap the lead yet. Right, what colour should I do that bead? I kind of want to get that spice red again a minute. Make that sharp point. I'm not doing the bead that, but there's a little tie underneath that I want to do this red. I think it's because my light is this side as well, and so I'm creating a shadow. But I have to have it that side because unfortunately the plug is that side, and if I moved it to the other side, I don't know. Let me pause and try a moment. Right, I've tried. Let's see how this goes. I'm just adding a bit of black in there. I don't know what colour I want to do the tassel. Would they normally be gold? I don't know, I might do it white. Really difficult to decide. Like, I can't decide on that bead. Right, I'm going to just go in over the lines and I will keep that like this white. Obviously it's white, so it needs to still be coloured, although it might turn out black, which black's perfectly fine as well. I'll just do that for the bead as well. Oh, the bead can have stickles on. I think I'll do that. I'm going to shade it in, but I think I'll put stickles on the bead. Just blend this smoother. I think my white may have had a bit of blue on it, because that black has gone quite a lot blue. Right, so I will still add my Posca pen to that because, you know me, I might even forget about stickles. Add a bit to the gold. over here. Right, that will do for that box for now then. So next, I think I'm going to have to colour his clothes next, because I need to know what his clothes are like to sort of do a matching, sort of make sure the staff or tree or whatever you want to call it, it's like a tree branch but it looks like a magical staff. I need to know what would match him, if that makes sense. So I think I'm going to take a break now while I come up with colours and stuff. Oh, ow, I forgot my light was this side and I just hit my head on it. So I'll be back in a moment. So I have decided to go the colour green route. So I have a phthalo green for some parts and a phthalo turquoise for other parts of the clothing. And I should have sharpened these already, but I didn't, so let me just do that quickly. So I know for a fact that I want the trouser, well, the inner trouser sort of part to be the dark phthalo green, or the phthalo green. It doesn't have dark in the name, but it's the darker of the two colours that I'm using, so I want that to be that. So I'm going to start with a light layer over the whole of the trouser area. So I've got that one, and then this leg over here. And then I'm going to just shade where needed. And then I will also have the black. So this colour is quite similar to this background darker colour, which I thought adding a bit of this would be okay, because the blue that's around him is more of the lighter shade, isn't it? So it's not gonna disappear into the background. Get the black and add that first. I do think the light this side is probably more helpful than where it was before, so hopefully you're seeing it all better. Then back to my phthalo green again, and I'm just going to blend that black out a bit. Be sure to be careful around the fingers. And then I am just going to take my white, that bit, smooth it out, and then I'll go back in with my phthalo green again, just to darken that up. But I wanted that bit to be lighter, so I needed the white there first. Now I go over it, and I'm smoothing it out and blending it, but it's not as dark as that on its own. Right, so that's those trouser part done. Now, so we have the outer robe part, the inner robe part, and then he's got like a shirt sort of part as well. The shirt part I'm thinking of just having white. I think going from the dark, so his actual, like the inner robe bit would be the lighter of the colours that I picked, which is the phthalo turquoise. So I think I'm going to do that bit next. I think I'm going to do him maybe black boots with the gold on, because I didn't realise that's sort of a detailing, isn't it? So I might have to do that gold. But I'm going to start with this part of the robe. It's hard to see where one part ends and another part starts. So I'm going to start with this top bit. That's where it ends. Then it will go in here, and then it's this part. It's getting extremely difficult to know. That's why I'm taking my time. That is that, so that is that. And this front bit, I think, is this, but then it, like the bit over his knee, is this colour, but then that would be the outer robe, I hope. That's what I'm going with anyway. Why didn't I colour that bit in? About that. That's that, right? Yeah, that's the outer robe. So now I am going to carry on with this. So I'll add the black where I need some shadowing. That bit in there will be a bit darker. It's okay if this bit's a bit darker because that's hair anyway. And he has this belt, which I probably will add a bit of gold in, sort of like a theme going on. Then there'll be black some parts of this look like it was made to look like a see-through material, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it solid. I do love colour in the traditional sort of like Chinese, Japanese, Korean outfits. So there's so much detail and like design that goes into them. It's like, why was this ever taken, like, not used anymore? What happened for it not to be used? I don't know. I mean, some of it I guess would be uncomfortable, but like, but it's the same with any country's traditional wear. Like, they were so beautiful. It's like, what happened for them to go and not be used? It's like, I understand, like, for, you can get people that use them for like weddings and stuff now. But it's like, that used to be like everyday wear and stuff like that. Obviously different fabrics for different occasions and like quality and stuff, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. But then again, I've never even worn like a traditional outfit, so I don't know. And some of them I know would have been like really heavy, so that would have been why they wouldn't have wanted to wear those anymore. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like everywhere's just the same now, whereas before every country had like more uniqueness. I'm going to do the same with this. I'll go over with the white. What do you think? Have you ever worn a traditional outfit, like from any country? Like, a lot of them now are used in like stuff like dance and stuff, aren't they? And then you only get to really see them in like historical dramas. I do love them, especially when they have a fantasy element to them as well. It's like so unrealistic, but it's fantasy, so it doesn't matter. colour this bit very well, did I? I need more black in certain places. This bit's okay in here. Yeah, needing a bit more black in certain parts. That's better. That needs a sharpen again. This is really toothy paper, like I said, so it does eat your pencils, which is one reason why I am using the Castle Arts and not the Faber-Castell Polychromos for the whole thing. Because obviously if I need to buy a new set of Castle Art pencils, it's not going to cost as much as, although with the Faber-Castell ones you can buy them open stock, so it wouldn't really matter. But I think I remember using the Polychromos once on the other book, the Gugeli, is it Find Colour or something? And yeah, they sort of, in places, not everywhere, they tried to tear the paper. I think it was a me problem, not the pencils. I think I was just too heavy-handed with them. And I had already used water on the paper. So yeah, probably a me problem, but like at the same time is that gonna happen again? I don't want that to happen again. Alright, now the white. That is a pretty colour. May not go back over this one. I like how that's changed. Dropping my pencil then. I really want to finish this page today because I want to post it for everyone. It's been too long and I didn't do the detailing on that bit. Like, what is wrong with me? Yeah, I want to get this out later. Well, you'll be watching this, so now it's out now. You're watching. Thank you for watching. This needs sharpening again in a minute. I might be able to do this without sharpening it. It's only a little bit of fabric, isn't it? And the white. Yeah, I do like this colour when you add the white to it. I really do hope that you're seeing all this. I can't remember if I zoomed in on the whole outfit. Oh, phew. Thank goodness. I know I'm not the only one that gets like that, thinking like they've zoomed in and not moved the camera when they move on to another bit. But I'm so glad that that was shown. Just get rid of any dust. Yeah, I like that colour. I haven't done them there. Seriously? Like, I added the black and that was it. That's what I get for being distracted, isn't it? Right, I think that's all the parts that were supposed to be that colour. Let me just neaten that up. Yeah, I think so. I hope so anyway. Put a little sharp on because I'll probably need that again at some point. So you can see the trouser colour and the robe colour are similar, but you can tell that there's a difference. So next, I think I'm going to add the parts that I want gold again. I don't know what colour to do the bow. Then you've got the collar and the robe collar. Oh, so many layers. So I don't want to add too many different colours either. He seems like a very stylish person, so yeah. And I'm definitely going to add a tiny bit of detail to that moon. So I'm going to do what I know that I want to do and add the shadow into this collar. Because like I said, I just want it as white. So I'll just add some black and blend it out, I think. Makes sense to me. Not to complicate it any more than what I already have. Right, that'll do. Get the white. That didn't take long, did it? I was just sat here procrastinating. Yeah, gold bits, because I know a couple of bits I want gold, like this out bits. That was supposed to be that. Though I do want black into this. So I think I'm going to do this bit black. You know, the band bit. So I think I want the boots black as well. So if I bring a couple of other things in. Is that supposed to be the bow? Oh, it is, isn't it? I'm going to have to do a black bow now. Oh well. Quite honestly, didn't know what colour to do it anyway. Because, like, I don't think he'd want a pink bow. And the only other colour I could think of was like a good dark green. And I'm fine with it being black, to be honest. That solved that problem. Accidentally though, didn't it? I might add a bit of green into it. Or I might not. We will soon see. Because else I'll put the white on this and this will turn grey. I don't want it grey. Right, I'm going to find a dark green. One that I haven't used already. Right, I have a Viridian. So I'm just going to add a bit of that in. I'm not, just so it doesn't look grey once I've blended it all. Should put a bit in that, shouldn't I, as well, because so it doesn't look solid black. Right, back to my black in certain places. And then I'll go in with the white. It'll probably just look black on screen though, to be honest, because normally my camera has trouble picking up dark colours. Like last time I did that dark purple on the Camilla de Erico page, and it just looked black. There's like that plummy purple that I did in the background. Yeah. Right, now the white, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, that is actually quite pretty. Add a bit into that. That is going to need more black on it. Wow, that went really pale. I pressed down a bit too hard, I think. But at the same time, I'm not horrified by that colour. I might keep it that colour actually, just add black into the shadowier part. Shadowier words. I think that's decent enough for me anyway. Right, now I'll finish that gold part because I quite like that, so I'm not going to go back over with the black. Happy accidents. Right, and we've also got the rope there as well, but like I said, I'm going to go and finish this gold part. I will need the black again. I need a sharp point though for that. Just going to go over the lines. Add a bit of a shadow. And I think that looks good enough. Right, now on to this actual collar. I think I'm gonna go over this bit black. And then that bit there, I might take that Viridian green. Let's see what that looks like. It's not much different there, is it? Tell you what I want to do is try blending it with the almond. Just making it white, isn't it? Get a bit of the red spice in there. Might be interesting. And the white. Making it like a soft purple colour, isn't it? Purple grey. I will go that. Remove the black again just for the lines. And go back over these hair strands that have had the white go over them. Had a bead and a thing, the tassel-y thing, so I'll just go over that. Add a bit of that red in there actually. White. And then black for the lines added back in. It's hard to do like tassels and that, I think. That's fine for me. And with this ropey bit, I think I'm going to do it red. Like that red beaded bracelet. So just in with the spice red. And then I will get the black on it. Whilst I just have those sorts of colours here, you know. I don't want to make this too complicated. Probably blocking you again with all these small details. Right, now on to the robe, the outer robe. It's got some detailing going on the shoulders, which I think I'm going to go in and do those gold. Carry on the gold sort of theme. So I have my cadmium yellow again. It's like this. It's hard to see what would be clothing and what isn't, so I'm just going to sort of block it like it's shoulder pad type things. And that is the collar there for that. So I'm just gonna, and then I'll go in with the black over the lines that I can see, because I probably won't catch every single one. The amount of detail this artist has put into this is amazing. I'm wondering though if they do it, I know they like use watercolour and stuff, but I don't know if they use digital art as well to sort of add these small details, or do they just have a really sharp point on the pencils. Although they know what they're drawing, I don't know what's there to colour. In some shadows in, but I'll probably get lost anyway. think that's the best I can do with that. There are 2 tassels again, which I don't know what to do with. I may just do I'll do those after I decide on the colour for the... Oh, I haven't done that sleeve. The sleeves that were in this phthalo turquoise. Oh my god, because that's part of this. Completely forgot. It's a good thing that I didn't put the colours away or anything. And this one. Whew, saved. Black on the inner parts, mostly. I wonder if anybody had already noticed that I had forgot them. Thought I'd picked up the wrong pencil for a moment then. And the white. A little bit of black in there, actually, again. Okay, now the colour of the outer robe. Oh my gosh. I think this part back here is supposed to be hair, because the robe goes in like that, but I'll do that after. So, although I can do the boots first actually, but I may need to move them onto the camera more. I'm just going to move him up a little bit so you can just see a little better anyway. So I'll do the gold parts first with the cadmium yellow. Again, I'm just going over the whole thing, and then I will add the lines back in with the black, the boot bit there as well, with the other leg. And I'm just doing that bit, I'm not going around that ankle bit with it. And I am going to give him black boots as well, so, or this, maybe like this bow sort of colour. I don't know what this design was supposed to be. It's a bit difficult. But once again, that will do. So I'm going to do the sole of the boot in just solid black. And those parts that I said that I wasn't going to do gold, I will also make a bit more solid. I need to decide how I'm going to shade these because they don't have any shading already. That one that's at the back, that's going to have a lot of shadowing anyway, so that will do for that one. I will blend it and that, but you know what I mean. I'm not very good at feet. Give it a light layer to start with. It might help me decide or not. Something like that. Yeah, that'll do. But I will add the Viridian and then the white. And I hopefully get a colour like that out again. Yep, good. I'm happy with that. I just need to go round things with the black to make sure the detail sticks. I did make a mistake there, so I have to make his foot a slightly bit bigger. It's okay in my opinion. Just felt like a bit of this needed to be a bit darker. So now I really need to do the outer robe. I am going to pause it a minute while I just think about that. I've decided to just go in and with this Viridian and hope for the best, because I don't want to add another colour in. I thought about doing it red, but then I thought it would look like Christmas and I don't want that. So yeah, dark green. So I'm going to do all over this first. Don't want it to blend in, but I think it's going to blend in. These cuff bits are a different colour. You've got sort of these band bits. So I'm going to leave those. there are some little flowery type things on there then, but I think I'm just going to colour over them. Once I decide what colour my flowers are going to be on there, I might just add a few petals in myself. Right, so now I can start adding my details in. I'm just going to sharpen these pencils. Sorry if this is quite long and a lot of it is me deciding what I'm even going to do. But this is how I colour, so you know, it's part of the process, isn't it? I'm sure everybody has the times when they struggle to decide how to colour something. I need to add the black in as well before I go too dark with this. I am going to go over this smoky bit. I know where it's coming out of, so I can just add it myself anyway. I think I'll go in with the black. I can go over the hair strands, that's fine. Get the feeling this pencil's going to need a lot of sharpening whilst I'm colouring this, because the tooth of the paper is just eating it right up. And just go over these hair strands. I don't want them to get lost. And the white, I do need to sharpen that as well. See what colour it turns. Yeah, that'll do, won't it? Is my robe colour? Well, it's that colour now anyway, whether I like it or not. Right, I'm going to go over it with this. And then for these sleeve bits, I'm going to do them black, just to keep it simple. Well, grey. So we want the white on it. But I think they look better black. So I'm going to put the black back on it. I don't know if I like how bright that bit turned out. It really is annoying me, this. I kind of want it to be like that. It looked really like a triangle. I'm just going to go in and do this bit as hair that I thought was hair, what I said about earlier. Like that. Right, so now next part. Actually, I'm just going to quickly do that red colour. But you can tell once I add the black to it anyway. Just do that red again. It's at a really weird angle as well, so you can't even see it, but I know that I've done it. feel like I can deepen up some of this hair now that I know what the outfit looks like and stuff. You know, when you start to colour a page, sometimes I go in lighter, even though I know that I'm going to want it darker. Just so I can adjust later if necessary. Because I didn't know if he was going to come out more pastel-y, muted, or what. Kind of want another strand there. Right, back to the robe. I got a bit sidetracked then, didn't I? So this band is black. White. Black. Gosh, this is going to take forever. I'm doing this side first. That bit's going to take a while. Hopefully you've all got snacks and a drink. Surely, I think you would have noticed how long the video was to start with, or you are like watching this over several days. At the very least, you know. I know when I watch like a video that's like 3 or more hours long, I always, like, I normally have like a detailed colouring page that I'm working on, and I know I'm going to be working over it like a couple of days, and I like things in the background where I don't have to change what I'm watching, so I love longer videos for that. And then some days I just want a video that's like an hour. I don't like it when videos are like 20 minutes, unless it's like a completed pages video. They're different. But like a colouring or talky sort of video, I like at least an hour, or at least like 40 minutes. Because when they're shorter anyway, that's when they end up being like a speed colouring. I don't watch those. Normally because they just have music on in the background that repeats itself. And if I want music in my background, I'll just put like a playlist on or something. I like hearing people talking as they're colouring. It doesn't matter what they're talking about. I don't know, I like people talking in the background. I like watching the live videos, but not live. I always watch them back on replay situation. Most of the time it's because I don't get notified about lives, even though I'm subscribed and hit the bell and whatnot. I don't get notified until it's like already been live for an hour, and I'm like, what's the point in that? But also I'm I don't know, I just like to know when a video is going to end, and if it's live and they haven't specified what time it's live between, then I don't know how long I need to be sat here for. I think I've said before as well that it's like you never know if it's just got 10 minutes left. And you're like, oh yeah, I can just watch the last 10 minutes. But if it's like got 40 minutes left, then you like, can't watch this. I'll have to come back and watch that bit. I like to know how long I'm watching for, because that's normally how I pick what video to watch, based on what I'm colouring and how long it's going to take me to colour it. Right, now onto this bigger section. Luckily this green looks okay with the rest of the outfit. I was a bit worried that it would just merge into one. So it's almost Easter, which is like, wow. Time flies. It's going to be darker because it's underneath. But then these bits are inside, so they're going to be even darker. In my opinion, anyway. It's under the... Are these objects just floating there? Or are they actually resting on him? Although he's like just sitting in the air anyway, so I don't think I need to worry about that. Right, let's go in with the green. Put the dark bits that I know are dark out of the way first. Little sharpen, Sorry, I'm trying to get it done, aren't I? So I've run a bit quiet. Try to get around all the objects. And this is why I coloured the objects first, because if I'd done the clothing first, I would have got this green on that, and then when I would have gone in to colour it, it would have like changed the colour and everything, and yeah, it would have been a mess. Right, I think it's time to go in with my white. And then I will go back over it, because I did leave quite a lot of white space. I just wanted to make sure I didn't go too dark too soon on some parts. There we go, that's better. I do have to say I do like this green as the jacket. This one looks weird. I think it's because it's the first one I'd done and I wasn't sure what colour I wanted. Put a bit green in those. That bit looked like hair, because that's that bit what I changed from being a triangle. Did I just colour over the hand? I did. He's losing a finger now, okay? So I just made a mistake. Shh, you didn't see that, okay? His hand is completely normal. Just go over the darker bits again. It's his robe done, his clothes are done, he is coloured. Now I just need to do the moon and the staff. Ooh, I'm just going to pause it a moment, I need a short break. You may be able to notice that I could not stand the look of that hand and have covered it with hair. Yeah, I just basically did strokes. Yeah, that was before I was even thinking about it. I didn't forget to record, I sort of didn't want to video it. Like, I thought I was going to mess it up. But yeah, I basically just got my black and just went over the hand like this. You can see parts of the hand through it, but yeah, I couldn't, because I accidentally coloured over that finger. I couldn't unsee it. But yeah. So I'm sorry about that. But I'm sure yours won't need your hand covering, because you won't accidentally like colour over the finger. That's if anybody is even colouring this, because I don't know if a lot of people have this book. Like I said, I didn't know that it existed. I didn't know they had a second book, and it's been out, when did I say it came out? Like a couple of years ago? So let me make sure I'm in frame for this staff. Okay, I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit. What I'll do actually is I will do this bottom part and then I will go to the top part so I can stay zoomed in actually. Right, so that's good enough. So I just got this slate grey, which is a brown, not a grey. And I'm just going to go over all the dark shadowed bits. I am going to get my black as well, but yeah. For now, I'm just going to do the shadowed, the parts that I've got the grayscale on is what I mean. Just like that. And then I've got the black. I need to sharpen that a bit actually, because this is detail work. Just do the very point to the end of this. And then I am going to go over only the sort of lines. And I'm going to see what it looks like with white blended in. Right, that don't look great, so I need another brown. Or maybe I can just use this brown over the white. That looks fine to me. Saves me looking for another brown anyway. Right, so that was quick and easy. So now I'm going to move up to the top part, which will take a lot longer. Getting glare on it again. But like I said, I don't want to, maybe I'll just move the camera. Like that. Is that okay? Hopefully. Can I turn the lighting down actually? Because you're seeing the colours differently on the camera again. Do like that outfit though. Slightly different in person, but close enough. Not going to get any closer than that, I'm afraid. Right, there we go. So I'm just going to do the same as what I did on the bottom part on this part. So going over all the grey-scaled parts first with my slate grey. Why is it called slate grey? I don't know. Because like I said, it's brown. This is a detailed staff as well. I can't believe how much of this I'm sort of colouring in one day. It is a Saturday though, so I don't have anything else to do. but normally I wait until the evening to film, whereas this, I don't even know what time it is. I had my lunch and then I came back to do this part, so it's the afternoon some point. This has part of the moon, the watercolour on it, which can't be helped, it's already there. Like I said, I wasn't bothered because I'm doing the flowers. Just gonna sort of dot them on with a Posca pen because they're tiny anyway. I need this sharp. Yeah, so just remember, if you are using pencils on textured paper like this, I wouldn't use your super expensive pencils unless you are willing to replace them. I mean, the Castellats are quite soft pencils anyway, so that's probably a reason why mine are having to be sharpened a lot, but it is really nice paper to work on though with pencils because the pigment obviously is easy to put down. Don't know what page to colour next after this. I've coloured a couple of my Spooklet sketchbook pages since I've been here, so I have a couple more of those that I've put a marker base on, but I've also brought a couple of books with me which I've been wanting to work in. I finally got the Christine Karen colouring book, and I actually saw it on sale and there was only 2 copies left. I don't know if I've already mentioned this or not, but yeah, there was 2. It came back in stock on Amazon. There was a few different people you could buy it from, but one of them had it on sale, and yeah, so I just got it and it is beautiful. Like, I didn't realise from watching people colouring in it how like beautiful the actual book is, like the texture and everything. Like the front cover has a texture on it. I didn't know that. And well, the illustrations in it are just amazing anyway. And because I've only got one of her previous books, I don't have too many like duplicate pages, if you know what I mean. Right, so now I'm going to go in with my black. So yeah, I'm looking forward to colouring in that, but I don't know what page to colour in that. That book is why I bought my polychromos here though, because I will want to use them if I colour in that. You know, when you want to do your best work, you use your favourite pencils. I have to say though, castle arts aren't far off. Like as a choice for me, I either go towards the castle arts or the Faber-Castell polychromos. So yeah, I don't have too many different types of pencils, although I am getting used to using those Black Widow pencils. They're really nice. Some of the colours in that are different than what I'm used to as well. Because you get used to using certain colours and they look a certain way. And it's nice to have a change. Like not automatically knowing, oh, I'm using that red because I know how that looks. But I didn't bring those with me because I couldn't bring them all, could I? And because there's so many of the Black Widows, I do have them in the pencil case, but it's chunky. And yeah, I was already bringing enough with me. I didn't want the extra baggage, as I would have bought them as well. Like if I bought a third set, it would have been those. Did I already do black on that bit? I don't know. Right, now I'll go with white. Like I said, this doesn't do much until I add that slate grey back on top. Just got to remember where I've been with the white because I can't see where I'm really putting it either. Let's go on that bit a minute. Alright, so I'll do the top bit first, I think. And then I'll do the bottom bit so I can remember. The bottom bit. Sometimes my hands work faster than my brain, which makes no sense because your brain literally controls. But I'm sure you know what I mean. Like autopilot situation. Right, and now back with the slate grey. I am going to give that a little sharpen though. And just gently over the top of that. Just makes so much difference. It's the same pencil, but it's not. And because it's a branch, it doesn't matter if it has a bit of texture on it. Like I don't need to blend it super smooth. I made that too chunky, let me just bring that off a bit. That's what I tend to do when I make like the end of a piece of hair or a branch like too thick, then I'll just extend it. Right, that's the branch done. Now I need to do these dangly bits. I'm just going to make this string black. This one's a butterfly, and this one's one of those beaded chains, which I'm going to do red again. That spice red I've still got here. And the butterfly will be gold. So the cadmium yellow. At least I think that was supposed to be a butterfly. I've left a blob there anyway. Just going to draw the outline. That's how I saw it anyway. Right, and those beads. Just do those. I should have done the yellow first. Oh well. Right. Posca pen. Hello bear. Want to say hello? I'm going to go over those. So I've got the spice red and I'm just going to go over that white Posca pen to make it blend in a bit. And I think I'm going to put a bit of this where the flowers are, well, supposed to be. And then I can just do some dots of different Posca, like a pink Posca pen. I think I have a pink one with me. Just knowing where I've got to sort of put them is a bit helpful. Hello, you're back again. You give attention, they go away, and then as soon as you press record again, it's fine. I don't know if all of these were flowers or if I've created little marks when I've done the watercolour. But I don't think it would matter, would it? What that was. But there we go. But I can also see some lines that I think are supposed to be like the string part that's sort of going around. Hey, that's my foot! Dearie me. I'm getting high fives on the foot. I'm guessing my foot was in the way. I think that will do for that. Can't see any more lines that I sort of missed. Before I go in with the Posca pen on that though, I'm going to take my black and outline this moon. Like I said, I wanted to do a bit of detail on the moon. I hate drawing around circles. I really, really do. Like, even if I have something circular to draw around, I always find a way to mess it up. But I think I'm actually going to leave the moon like that. I just wanted to make sure the outline was more stable. I don't think I need a super realistic moon in the background. Right, so I'm going to get to my Posca pen, the pink one. It's just, I think it's literally called pink. Let me have a look. Light pink. And I haven't used it before because I recently bought a pack. So I'm just going to activate this. Do I have a tissue here? Let me just... Apologies if you don't like this sound. There we go. That didn't take much at all. I like it. So now I'm just going to... I'm not going to do the whole... Where I've done the things, I'm just going to put some dots in. Depending on how big the dot is how many... I mean, depending on how big the area that I coloured is how many dots I'm going to be adding. It just makes it more noticeable that there's flowers on here. But in a simple way that I don't have to go in and try and do tiny little detailed flowers. Ooh. Cat number 2 has arrived. You know what as well, it's getting closer to the time where I need to get that white watercolour paint out. Yeah, I think they can sense it. She's about to get the watercolour out. Things are going to get exciting. Add a few little dots in wherever I want. If I missed any flowers, I'll put it on that. I don't think I've missed any. Right, yep. So I'm going to get that. Oh, just a minute. I forgot to go over this Posca pen. It was really, really white. Right, so I'm going to get that white watercolour paint ready. And hope for the best. So zoom back out again. And I have got my white paint here. And I am first going to add this smoke, or like whatever it was. Can't remember exactly how it went, but that's fine. another swirl going on. Right, and now I want to do some splattering, but first I need to make sure he is sort of covered. So I just have a bit of kitchen roll here. I'm not bothered about most of him. Oh, I shouldn't have put that on there yet. Got wet paint. Luckily I didn't press all that bit, I pressed on his head. My gosh, the stupidity of me sometimes. So yeah, I just want to splatter some white paint and then I think I'll be done. Just activate this white a little bit more. Although I'm going to be using this brush because I think it will give a better effect. So, okay, it's slightly wet. I don't want it too wet because it works better with a dry brush, I think. A drier brush, should I say. Right, so I'm just going to lay that on there and just flatten it a little bit. It's okay like that, I think. And hopefully I don't get this everywhere. Am I flicking it the wrong way? Maybe I do need it wetter. Don't know, I've ever only done this with a hard bristled brush before. So it's getting on my finger and I've got a little bit there, but maybe I need more paint on it. Maybe that's my problem. Let's really get it saturated with that white paint. Oh yeah, that's better. It's working now, I think. My hand's just like right in the way, but I can't help it because I've got to use my hand to be able to do this. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to risk it. Put in some closer. It doesn't matter if it goes on his clothes. It's just his face I don't want it on. Looks quite nice on that green actually. So it's not huge droplets, but I think that'll have to do for what I'm wanted. I'm just going to go and wash my hands a minute. Right, all clean. So I'm just going to peel off this tape carefully. I don't care what paper I'm using, I always peel this off extremely careful because I don't want it to rip. And I think it can rip with anything. like no matter what tape you use, no matter what book you're using it on or paper, I think it has the possibility to tear anything if it's not carefully removed. So yeah, I go extremely slowly. That's the tape off. And if I remove, oh, I wanted to put stickles on that gem bit, that bead. I did. So, and I was thinking of just doing the, where is it? What's it called? The waterfall. So I'm just going to put a dot of that on this bead. Anywhere else that I want it? No, I think that one should be special. Just that one. Then I think that is the page done. So if I just remove the backing paper, and if I hold it up so you can see the details of like the splatting and stuff, because it is hard to see in certain places. Just give you a zoomed in version of him. There is that stickles. I'll have to let that dry obviously, but other than that I'm quite proud of that, to be honest, especially as a first page in this book. I do get quite nervous when starting in a book like this, and then you see the page next to it. Oh my gosh, that is so much detail. Look at how many flowers are in there. It's beautiful, but it would take some patience to colour that one, wouldn't it? So I thank you for watching, and I do realise that this is a long video, so I shall see you in the next one, whatever that may be. I'm not sure yet. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and yes, until next time, goodbye.